love and appreciate you. Thank you. I'm on.
Welcome to the 84th Annual Meeting. I am Mike Cobb, Chairman of the Board for Shell Federal Credit Union, and I would like to call the meeting to order. I would like to ask the Board to stand for the invocation by Mr. Mark Reed.
Would you bow with me in prayer, please? Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you so much for this day. We thank you for the chance to come together and to conduct the business of the credit union as you see fit. Help us to always do things in a Christ-like manner, in a way that would be pleasing to you. We thank you so much for our leaders, for the directors, for the staff members, and all the officers of the credit union, and all the employees that help us to conduct business so that it is for our benefit that they do this, and that we all are one big Shell family, Lord. We thank you so much for our leaders of our country, the local levels, the state levels, the national levels. Just give them strength. Empower them with wisdom and discernment to conduct business in the best way that they know how, so that it will benefit our country as a whole, Lord. We just thank you so much for being together here today, Lord, and we thank you so much for your love and your care. We ask that you be with those that have been stricken by the pandemic in whatever way it is. Lord, you just ask your blessings upon them and help them and give them strength and comfort and care. We ask that you watch over our first responders, Lord, wherever they are, whatever they're doing. And we ask that you watch over our servicemen and women across the world, across our country. Give them strength, give them comfort. Just show them that you're always with them, that you're taking care of them also. We ask these things in your Son's holy and his blessed name. Amen.
Please remain standing for the national anthem and the pledge.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Last year's minutes can be found inside of the 2020 annual report and on our website at shellfcu.org. Any recommended amendments to the minutes were to be emailed to the credit union prior to tonight's meeting. We received no recommended changes to the minutes, therefore the minutes are approved as submitted. There are 3 positions up for election to the board this year: Ben Esquivel, Kurt Hofer, and Mike Cobb. The nominating committee was comprised of Steve Alexander, Galen Davis, and Dewey Neighbors. There were no nominations received by petition because the number of nominees equals the number of positions to be filled per our bylaws. An election will not be conducted, and the nominating committee's selection is therefore elected. Congratulations to our newly elected board members, Ben Esquivel and Kurt Hofer. Thank you for allowing us to serve another term on your board of directors. At this time, I'd like to introduce Ms. Cindy Williams for her supervisory committee report.
Good evening and welcome. Your supervisory committee focuses on ensuring that the board of directors and management of the credit union meet required financial reporting objectives and establish sound practices and procedures sufficient to safeguard our members' assets. In 2020, the committee contracted with Clifton Larson Allen to perform quarterly compliance assessments and engage Warren Everett, CPAs, and advisors to perform the annual financial audit. Excellent reports were presented without any material discrepancies noted. Thank you for your continued confidence in Shell Federal Credit Union. We invite you to communicate with us by mail at P.O. Box 237, Deer Park, Texas, or visit the Supervisory Committee link on the About page at shellfcu.org. All communications are reviewed by this committee. Thank you.
At this time, I'd like to give my chairman's report. Shell FCU has grown to over 118,379 members strong in 2020. Through a loyal and steadfast commitment to their communities, in April of 2020, Shell FCU began construction on a multi-year 4-phase project. These projects will allow the staff to continue providing the membership exceptional service you deserve. Anticipated credit union growth exceeds the current space available, and these projects will allow for additional servicing within the Deer Park branch. Plus, the highly anticipated Baytown branch was completed and opened in November of 2020. You belong here at Shell FCU. Please encourage your family, your friends, co-workers, and neighbors who live, work, worship, attend school, or regularly conduct business in Harris County to visit us online or stop by any branch. There's no better way to understand the heartfelt respect we have for our membership than by experiencing Shell FCU's exceptional service. Shell FCU members are appreciated, and above all, we are family. We have the people that have the talent. Thank you. At this time, I'd like to introduce from a teller to our president and CEO, Mr. Jose Rodriguez.
Well, good evening. It is a great day to be alive. Welcome, 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 and thank you all for being here. This is our 84th annual meeting. Thank you for that introduction, Mike, and thank you again for everyone being here this evening. I know we did this last year. We kind of did this virtual meeting, and it's not what we prefer to do. It's not what we want to do, but and hopefully this is the last time that we have to do it this way. Next year, the goal and the hope will be that we'll be able to get back face to face and do it the way we're used to doing it. But with that said, we definitely want to share some great news and celebrate some successes that we've had in 2020. And thank you all for being here, for being playing an active role in being a member here at the organization. You are our purpose. You are the reason for our existence. Without you, Shell Federal Credit Union does not exist. So, with that, I just want to be sure that I make it clear that you are the reason that we are here. And everything that we do on a daily basis is to serve you. In our mission statement that we have approved, it states that we are here to serve the members, not for anything else. And So with that, we also know that we can't serve you without staff, and we have staff now spread across 11 branches, multiple departments, and a call center, and we're up to almost 400 staff now in the organization, just shy of that. So with the way that 2020 played out, I definitely want to say a huge shout out and a thank you to our board. They're volunteer. And they gave a lot of hours and a lot of time and a lot of energy spent on making big, important decisions last year on how we were going to handle the pandemic and working through that, as well as the staff. A huge thank you to the staff. We could not have done it without them. We would not have been able to serve you, the members, without them. And I'm truly grateful, and I'm honored and privileged to be able to work with the staff, alongside of the staff, and work for the board and alongside the board for you, the members. So definitely wanted to say thank you for that. Thank God for today's gift. I know that every day is a gift. I tell the staff that every day. Every email I send states that in it, because I truly believe that with my whole heart. I don't understand necessarily why things happen the way they do, but I do believe God has a plan and a purpose for all of us and for everything in this world. So while it's not for me necessarily to understand everything and to know everything, I just have to trust in Him and make the best decisions I can, along with the support and the encouragement of the people around me, to make sure that we're doing everything that we can to do what's right for our staff and for our members, to keep everyone safe, healthy, and well. And so with that, 2020 was a very unusual year. No one could have predicted prior to January of last year what was in store for us over the course of the next 12 to 18 or 24 months, because we're not out of it completely yet. We're definitely better now than where we were, but we still got a ways to go. So with that, 2020 started off like any other year. We thought we would, we had projects in the pipeline. We were going to continue making loans to members and taking deposits and growing and adding new members and doing all the things that we are known for and what our reputation is for, and giving great service to the members, the best service that you can possibly get anywhere out there. So January started off just like any other year. We were working on a debit card conversion, which was coming, we knew, in March. We were working on a credit card conversion that we knew was coming in the summertime during July or August. And we were also already working on a digital banking conversion that was going to come in February of 2021. But it takes a lot of time and energy and resources and planning and strategizing on knowing just how to impact these types of big member impacting services and products that we offer. On top of that, we were working on a new branch in Baytown. You heard Mike mention. We got that up and going, and then we also were working on this huge parking garage in Deer Park. If you've been in Deer Park recently, you've seen the construction and the mess that we've been dealing with, all of us, for the last year and a half or so. Fortunately, we're getting to the end of that, and we'll be able to start using it. I hope you all are proud of it and think it's as beautiful as I think it is. It's definitely kind of got that awe factor to it. But just know that we would not be spending this money and doing this if we didn't feel that it was necessary and needed for the future of our organization, to make sure that we are here in our 84th year, making sure that we are here for the next 84 years. And on top of that, keeping Deer Park our home. One of the things that we're proud of is that we've been in Deer Park for many years, pretty much since the beginning, and we want to make sure that Deer Park stays our home for the next foreseeable future. And thanks to the vision and the foresight that our board has had, and the strategic planning that they've done, we're able to make that happen. I know the city of Deer Park is excited about it. I know the staff and the management here at the organization, the board, is excited about it, and I hope that the membership is excited about that as well. So also want to say congratulations to our newest re-elected board members, Mike and Ben and Kurt. Congratulations to you. And I just want to say thank you to the board for allowing me to work here as your president and CEO. I do not take one single day for granted. I am grateful for every day and every opportunity that I've been given. I know that God had a hand in it. And like I said, he has a plan and purpose for every one of us. You know, I tell everybody in our new employee orientations that I am the CEO, but what I tell them that means is that I am the chief example officer. And what that means to me is that I try to lead by example in everything that I do, and I'm not going to ask them to do something that I myself would not do. And I want to be the best role model that I can be for them. We do believe in servant leadership here. I don't know if you've all been to Chick-fil-A before, and you know that that's kind of their trademark about servant leadership, and we've been charged with being the Chick-fil-A of credit unions. So I'm proud of that, and we work to deserve that honor every single day. And then on top of that, to even do it better. We want to always make sure that we're growing and that we're learning and that we continue to give the best service that we possibly can give to you, no matter what the situation, no matter what your season of life is, whether you're starting off in life and you're young, whether you're middle-aged and growing a family, or whether you're towards the end of your life or retirement, so to speak, and you're looking to retire well and safely and securely financially. So, with that, I just want you to know that our mission statement here at the organization really, truly drives everything we do day in and day out. It sets the tone for our organization, and we make sure that it's the value add that we need, that we focus on a daily basis to give you what you deserve. We understand that you have lots of options, lots of choices out there on what financial institution to go to, where to do your checking account or have your debit card or your loans with, your mortgage, your auto loan, whatever the case may be. We know there's lots of options out there. And the products that we offer and the services we offer, for the most part in the financial industry, are commodity products. You can get them everywhere. Our loans work the same way other places loans do. Our checking account works the same way other checking accounts work. So what's going to make you want to come to us? And I wholeheartedly believe sincerely that it's because of the service that we deliver to you every single day, because of that relationship and that bond that we create with you every single day, and because we don't fake it till you make it. It's got to be sincere and it's got to be real, because time and time again when people sense that it's fake or it's not authentic, people can sense that and they don't want any part of that. They may not necessarily always remember what you say to them. They'll always remember how you made them feel. And so we want to make sure that we are being authentic on how we make you feel and building that relationship and creating that emotional attachment that we have with our membership. So thank you for trusting us. Thank you for giving us that opportunity to serve you on a daily basis. This year, our rally cry is "You Belong Here." And I just want to make sure that I point that out, because every year we have a little bit different rally cry. But with all the things that happened in the news and the media last year, we felt like that this was important to let you know that no matter what your past or your background is, we are here for you and you belong here no matter what. So, with that, I'd like to share some accomplishments that we were able to do in 2020 in the midst of the pandemic. In March when that happened, everything kind of shut down, and no one knew what was to come from that. So we had to take a step back. Our lobbies closed. And then we had to figure out how we were going to continue to operate and serve you. We couldn't just close our doors and stay closed. I know a lot of businesses went out of business and never to reopen their doors or never to reopen again and serve, whatever industry or people that they served. That was not an option for us. Our board and management knew that we had to figure out a way to continue to serve you. We just had to do it a little bit differently, and it had to look a little bit different to make sure everyone was safe, secure, and stayed well, because no one knew how this pandemic would play out and how things would develop with the virus. So with that in March, the lobbies closed. We expanded services at the drive-thru. Our employees were phenomenal. They did not hesitate or blink an eye to move to working remote when they needed to, or still come in to work the drive-thru and do expanded services. We had people running back and forth from the drive-thru to the lobbies, trying to make sure that we were able to open loans or open accounts or do whatever it is that the member needed us to do. We were committed to making that happen. So we ended up within that month that we were closed between March and mid-April. We got some plexiglass barriers that we put up in the lobbies to make sure that we could have those that little added protection between the employee and the member, so that when we reopen those lobbies that we would have that additional protection. We implemented the mask requirement that everyone else did. We implemented making sure people were sanitizing their hands and wearing gloves when they were cash handling and all those things. And then we also had to monitor social distancing and lobby service and that sort of thing. But we wanted to make sure that we were able to still serve you through the lobby, because we know our members love to come in and see us, and for us to walk them through whatever process or new service that they were talking about. And they might have had questions that they trust us and trust our answers to make sure that we're going to lead them in the right direction and help them build their life and their credit and their financial backing for them, for their families, and for their future. So with that, we got the lobbies open. We did have to social distance, which we had people waiting either outside or in their cars, and we were able to implement a new service where people could check in. They already could do appointments online, but then they were able to even check in online through their smartphone or mobile device. That way we knew they were here and ready for service, and then as soon as we were able, we brought them in and we were able to give them that service, all while maintaining sanitation procedures at night, making sure that we were doing everything as safely and cleanly as possible. So those were just some of the few things that I know we did. We also were able to financially help members by adding additional SCIPA pays last year. We did that in March, April, and May on top of the 2 that we usually do every year in July and December. So we were able to do that when no one knew what was going to happen, and so members that might have been impacted by their job, maybe it closed down, maybe they lost their job, maybe their hours got cut, we were able to provide service that way as well. Thankful that we were also able to halt any type of collections and foreclosures and things, repossessions and things like that, because of the different regulations and rules that came out that allowed us to push pause on all those things for people that might have been hurting financially as a result of the pandemic. So lots of things that we did to make sure that we were doing everything we could to serve you and to take care of you in the best way, so that once we get to the other side of this pandemic, everybody can pick off right where they left off and hopefully, maybe, even be better off than they were when it all started. There's been a lot of stimulus money that the government has approved and sent out. We've seen a lot of that stimulus money come into the credit union over the last year. And because of that, we've seen a lot of our financials and our balance sheet grow really fast compared to what we normally would see. So with that, we know we have lots of money to make loans. So if you're on the fence and not sure about refinancing that mortgage or getting that home equity or maybe purchasing that new vehicle, come and see us. We are willing and ready to serve you and to make you that loan. And we're going to do it give you the best service. We're going to give you the best price, and we're going to do it with as little to no friction as possible. I can assure you with that. So those are just some of the pandemic response things that we did. For the most part now, we've kind of got on the other side of that. I was very proud of the fact that we were one of the first organizations to get our lobbies back open to the membership faster than anyone else. Our lobbies were only closed for less than a month, And so I was very proud of that, that we were able to start serving you back face to face, even though it looked a little different. We were one of the first institutions to do that. So again, just another testament to how we were committed to making sure that we were able to serve you the best way that we could serve you. So aside from the pandemic, as I mentioned, we were working on a debit card conversion. That happened in March, right before the pandemic hit. So everybody got a new Visa debit card. We continue to be able to do instant issue in the lobbies. That was a huge success, even though I know it's a huge member impacting service. I want to encourage you, now that we're well beyond that, those cards are the most secure cards on the market that you can get, and they are also the where you can wave that card in front of the machine. You don't have to worry about sticking it in there and doing it contactless, I think is the industry word that they use. If you're worried about that, but I encourage you, use that card, make it top of your wallet, and use that card. Put it in your Netflix account or in your Amazon account online. Use that card any time that you can. That helps, even though there's no cost to you or any difference to you. It helps your credit union tremendously as we continue to grow and move forward in the to serve the members. So we had the debit card conversion there, and like I said, in March. We did escrow for home equities in July, so that came in the summertime where we were able to start offering escrow on home equity. So if that's a service you have or are interested in, please feel free to come and talk to us. We'll be able to help you and serve you on that. That change actually came about as a result of a regulation change. The financial services industry is one of the heaviest regulated industries out there, and we have to make sure that we're doing everything just right for the auditors and the regulators and the examiners. And this was just one of those things that had to change, but it also came with a member benefit and a service enhancement for us to be able to offer that to you. So super proud of that. Then we also had the credit card conversion, as I mentioned, that came in the summertime. In July and August, we're still doing some cleanup from that and still adding some little tweaks here and there on that. But one of the huge things that came as a result, which we've been wanting to do for many years, aside from the mass reissue that we had to send out all new Visa credit cards to the members, was that we're now able to do instant issue in the lobbies, the same as we do on the debit cards. The debit cards has been a huge success over the years, being able to instant issue that card right there in the lobby and give it to you right at the time of account opening, or maybe you lost your card and you needed a new card. Maybe you had fraud on your account and we had to give you a new card. Now we have that same capability with the credit cards, which we never had before. So that was a huge service enhancement, and I'm super proud of that. Members are already taking advantage of that as we instant issue those cards in the lobbies, both for new accounts as well as existing accounts that maybe they lost their card or had fraud on their account. So with that also, I mentioned that we had a digital banking conversion that was coming. Technically, that didn't happen until 2021, but we're further into 2021 now, and so I can't really say one without the other. I got to talk about that. So we did a conversion of that, which is another huge member-impacting service, but we wanted to make sure that we were offering you the most secure service as we possibly could. And we also wanted to make sure that we were giving you the ability to do any and everything online that you wanted to do. We know that we have a segment of our members that love to come into the lobbies and talk to us, love to go to the drive-thrus and use us and talk to us there. But we also know that there's a huge segment of members that want to do everything online. So we wanted to make sure that we were providing them the best service we could with online services through our digital banking. And with that, because of the credit card and debit card integrations that we were able to do between our digital banking platform and our card services vendor, you also have the ability now to not just see your debit card transactions there, but you also can see all your credit card transactions there as well. So super service enhancement there, that you now don't have to go to another third-party portal, have another login with a username and password to be able to access that information and see it. So more enhancements for that will be coming in the future. We're able to now put a lot of one of the really neat things about the new digital banking service is the technology that it's built upon, and the back end is different, so that now we're able to do upgrades and make enhancements to it without you having to delete the old app and download a new app, or us having any downtime for maintenance and things like that. We're able to do it while the system is up and running during the day, and the only thing that you would notice as a difference would be that that new service would be there available to you to use. So as information comes out, we send out marketing emails and things like that from the credit union. Be sure that you read those. They're super important because they always have great information in them on enhancements that we're making for your benefit. So Aside from the credit card and the online digital banking conversion, as I mentioned, we opened the branch in Baytown. So very excited that we're able to serve the community of Baytown and the surrounding communities. Members have been asking for us to put a branch there for as long as I've worked here. So I'm very proud that we were able to finally make that happen. We also have, as I mentioned, the Deer Park construction going on. This is a four-phase project that will be going on for the next couple of years still. We're just completing phase 1, as I mentioned. By the end of May, beginning of June, we should start being able to use that, where staff will start parking in there, and then we'll be able to vacate the surface parking, especially over where the old gas station used to be at the corner of 13th and Center Street, and we'll be able to start construction on the new building that will be coming for our future growth. I tell people all the time that when our board of directors initially bought the property that we have in Deer Park, the majority of it, we were a very small credit union at the time. We didn't need that much property, and this was 40 years ago. But the board had the foresight and the vision to know that one day we were going to grow and we were going to need to have additional property to be able to expand our building and expand our footprint and to add more employees so that we could serve more members. And that's what has happened over the years, and that's where we are now. But we have been to the point now where we are crammed into this building. We have no more parking. We have no more space in the building to grow. So we had to do something. And every option was looked at, from moving our operations to another part of town, buying property somewhere else. You name it, we talked about it and looked at it. One of the things the board was very committed to was staying in Deer Park. Deer Park was our home. So we wanted to make sure that we did everything possible to make that happen. So with that, we had to acquire a little bit more property. Across the street on 13th Street used to be a car wash. We were able to get that, and also the corner property that we were able to get that used to be a gas station. And we would be able to renovate those areas and construct new buildings there. The new parking garage, which is almost completed now, is phase 1. Phase 2 is the drive-through will be moving. Our existing drive-through will be moving to the other side of the existing building. Phase 3, which phase 2 will start in June whenever phase 1 completes, and then that will go on for 3 to 4 months. So that should still complete by the end of, by fourth quarter, hopefully, of this year, 2021. And then immediately we'll go into phase 3, which is where we will break ground on the corner property to start building our new building that will house our staff in the organization for growth for the next. I would love to say 40 years again, like our board in the past did. However, what we've seen to be true over the years is that as we grow even faster. So while I don't know that it will take 40 years to fill the new building up, I do think my hope is that it will at least last us for the next 20 years. We want to make sure that we understand the money that we spend on these projects is your money. It's the money that you've entrusted for us, in us to spend on your behalf to make sure we can continue to serve you and give the best service to you with the best products and services to protect you and your financial futures. So we want to make sure that if we've got to this point in 84 years, we want to make sure that we are able to continue this for the next 84 for our children, our grandchildren, our great-grandchildren, and hand this legacy of what it means to be a Shell Federal Credit Union member and family member on to the ones that we love. So enough on Deer Park. Something else I always like to talk about is our safety and soundness issues. In the last part of our mission statement, the first part I always talk about, it's all about service. Well, in the second part of our mission statement, it talks about through leadership that is committed to keeping the credit union strong, aggressive, and financially sound. And that's part of our safety and soundness, which every year we have to have audits and exams done by NCUA, our federal regulator, as well as an outside auditor that our supervisory committee, who's our financial watchdog and compliance watchdog for the organization. Make sure that we're doing everything internally, the checks and balances are there, and that everybody is doing what they should, and by regulation and by compliance and all those things, on top of staying financially safe and secure. So I'm proud to announce that once again in 2020, we got all the highest marks that we could possibly get, a low risk in all the different risk areas that NCUA monitors and looks at. And as far as our financial safety and performance and security, we're one of the strongest financial institutions out there, bank or credit union, but especially in the credit union industry because that's what we're measured up against by NCUA and our peers. So I always like to mention that. Something else that I like to tell everyone that our fraud department, because they report to our risk area, which is part of who handles all of our audits and exams and stuff like that. Our fraud department was able to save us over $4 million last year in potential fraud, where bad guys, bad actors were trying to steal your money away from you through scams, through lotteries, through fake identities, through fake romance scams. I mean, you name it, we've seen it all. The internet and technology, while it can be great and make our lives so much easier, it can also be a scary thing if used by bad people for bad reasons and to take advantage of people. So we're doing everything in our power to make sure that we keep you protected and that we keep your money protected in that as well. As far as our financials go, I also want to mention to you, we are, and should be no surprise, we are one of the safest and strongest financial institutions out there. I don't want to talk a whole lot about numbers because I know it's kind of boring, but I do want to just highlight a couple of things. Loans grew over $117 million last year for 12.22%. In March, when everything shut down, dealerships shut down. What our bread and butter for as long as I've worked here for many years has always been personal loans and car loans to you. But over the last few years, we've invested strategically with the purpose of diversifying and growing the real estate side of the house. And because of changes that we made a couple of years ago, which was really by accident. I say by accident. The board strategized that and wanted that to happen. So in that regard, it wasn't an accident. And in regard to God's plan and purpose for us as an organization to make sure He was keeping Shell Federal Credit Union safe and strong for you, those things were not accidents. But, myself and the management team, we had no idea. We didn't know what we didn't know. So we had no idea a pandemic was coming. We had no idea that auto loan lending was going to dry up in March and April when dealerships shut down and just like all the other businesses did. So we had no idea that was going to happen. But then real estate really took off in March and April when feds dropped rates down to next to nothing, the lowest real estate rates that we've seen in history. And we were really able to capitalize upon that, and we saw the application volume go through the roof and people refinancing their mortgages and their home equities to get the best rate possible to save them thousands and in some cases hundreds of thousands of dollars over the term of the loan, or shortening the term of the loan so that they're able to pay their homes off sooner, to be able to use their money for whatever it is that they wanted to use it for in the next season of life, whatever that was, whatever that may look like. So very, very proud of the fact that we were able to do that. And 10 out of the 12 months, in spite of a pandemic, 10 out of the 12 months last year were record-breaking loan months for our organization. So thank you again for your trust, because that just shows you were using us. You were trusting us with your lending needs and your borrowing needs. And we want to make sure that we're lending that money out to you responsibly, prudently, and doing everything right by you for your safety and financial future. So we also saw assets grow over $250 million last year at 21.18%. That's huge asset growth. While some of that obviously was the loan growth that we had, a lot of that comes from the deposit growth that we get. When all that stimulus money and tax return money and all that stuff comes into the organization, that inflates our assets tremendously with deposits. And we had over $244 million in deposits grow at 24.6%. So that was a lot of deposit growth. That's all that cash that we have that you either invested with us or you had it in your savings and checking to pay bills, maybe later, whatever the case may be. We take that money and loan it out to you, to the borrowers of the organization that need to borrow money. And then whatever's left of that, we try to invest to make the best use of that money that we can, that we're able to get earnings off of that to continue to make us safe, strong, and secure. So total reserves grew $14.7 million at 12.89%, which, talking about our capital and earnings, so our income was up year over year. Expenses were flat. And as far as earnings go, our bottom line, we shoot for a 1% return on assets, and we were able to hit well above that of our target at 1.18. So amazing return on the year. And then as far as capital goes, those reserves growing, our net worth is at 9.66. NCUA says that 7% is well capitalized. We're well beyond the 7% at 9.66 to be well capitalized by our federal regulator, which means that we are a safe and sound organization able to continue to operate to serve you, our members, which is our reason and our purpose for existence. So with that also, we had membership growth. We had 8.43% membership growth, and we closed the year out at 118,379 members for the organization. So we continue to grow and see membership growth, and I attribute some of that great growth last year to the fact that we were one of the first institutions to reopen during the pandemic when a lot of other banks and credit unions kept their lobby doors closed. With us getting reopened and ready to serve you as soon as possible, we saw lots of membership growth as a result of that. And then so far this year, we've seen that number continue to grow. And I think, with adding Baytown and adding that branch and just continuing to serve our members and new potential members as they come in and hear about us. So super excited about that. The one last thing, that's enough on numbers, but the one last thing I do want to mention as well is cybersecurity. One of the things that I was talking earlier about technology and fraud, how they've been able to catch over $4 million in potential fraud. Our IT and IS&T department, they have done a lot of work on our network and our computer systems and things that are intangible or on the back end where the members don't necessarily see it and know it, but I just want you to know they're doing everything possible to keep your data, your private information safe and sound and secure, to prevent any type of cyber attacks or identity theft or anything like that. So a lot of work and a lot of money being spent in those areas to make sure that we're taking care of our members the best we can. So a lot of stuff happened in 2020, and I'm super proud that we were able to continue to operate the way we were doing, hitting some of the milestones that we've hit. Already this year, we just went over the $1.5 billion asset threshold, so another huge milestone for us there, knocking on the door of 120,000 members. So far, every month in 2021, we've had record loan month for that month in history of our organization. So in March was the largest on record ever. So that just proves to me once again that you trust us and that you're using us, and we thank you for that opportunity. I just that sums up my remarks. I just wanted to make sure that again, I thank you for being here and taking an active role and part in Shell Federal Credit Union and our organization. You are part of the family here. You are the reason for our existence. You are our purpose. We're all about service to you, and you belong here. There's no doubt about that. And if ever you feel that you don't belong here for some reason because of some product or service we don't offer, or maybe our products and services operate or work differently than what you think it should, or you have a recommendation or suggestion that might make it better, there's all kind of avenues for you to let your voice be heard. Send it to us online through a survey. Be sure to tell someone in branch. The employees know that they have a direct line to their manager who can talk to the executive team and tell us direct feedback from the members on what's going on, whether at the drive-through, the lobby, and through the mail, through email, you name it. We want to hear from you and know what we can do to get better and improve every single day. You are the reason why we exist. Thank you again to our board. Our board of directors are amazing. They've worked probably harder this last year than maybe any year that I can recall in all the years that I've been here, just because of all the different things that were thrown at us with the pandemic and things like that. And then the staff. Again, the staff was amazing. I could not have asked for more. I'm super proud that we didn't cut anybody's hours. No one lost their job. If anything, we've had to hire more people because members have come to us and we've seen the phenomenal growth that we've had. So, God blesses us and takes care of us in every way through everything in life. And there's a silver lining to every cloud. And definitely 2020 was somewhat of a storm. So don't know what the future holds, but I do know we will continue working for you every single day. Thank you for your trust. Thank you for the opportunity to serve you. And thank you for giving me the opportunity to work for you. I appreciate that. So with that said, we are Shell. Have a great evening.
Before I adjourn, I wanted to make absolutely sure that our members understand how much that we appreciate them, how much we appreciate your business, your loyalty, and your trust here at Shell Federal Credit Union. Thank you so much.